Now let's move on to our very first story. Leading mobile insurance provider Bima Ghana, as a way of boosting insurance penetration, has introduced the Be Life and Be Health insurance policy. The policy, which provides up to 10,000 cedis, is targeted at improving the insurance culture in the informal sector and among low-income earners.
Although the insurance coverage rate has improved from 8% to 30% within the last 7 years, the essence for more education on the need for insurance is still paramount, as a majority of this percentage is from the upper class.
The date of birth for your ID card.
Bima Ghana is bridging the gap by introducing affordable insurance packages for workers in the informal sector. Since 2010, it has continued to innovate the insurance space using technology to ensure easy and affordable access to insurance and health policies. The latest addition to its packages is the Be Life and Be Health insurance policies, which allow customers to get up to 10,000 cedis in cover with a monthly premium as low as 6 cedis. Speaking at the launch of the new products, country manager for Bima Ghana, Damien Gurault, explained that the company would stop at nothing to make insurance affordable for the average Ghanaian.
I think the launch of Be Health and Be Life is one more step for us to bring new products dedicated for these markets. But actually, you see that as Ghana is developing, the line between underserved customers and wealthy customers is also getting a bit blurred. So we just looked at what do Ghanaian customers want today. We've done extensive research understanding what are their pain points when they go to the hospital, what do they want really an insurance company to do for them. And so that's really what we have done and how we've designed the new products.
Also present at the launch was the Deputy Commissioner of the National Insurance Commission, Kofi Yando, who lauded the group as their mobile delivered insurance had helped boost insurance coverage in Ghana.
So all the innovations that Bima has rolled out is to introduce insurance and the value of it to the people, get them to appreciate it. So they will need that, hey, this thing can help us solve the problem, some of the problems that we have. And so kudos to Bima for reaching out to the informal sector and the low-income segment. Basically, that is what Bima has targeted, and that is very well appreciated by us.
Bima's mobile technology has so far reached 31 million subscribers in 15 markets across Africa. For Joy Business, Karen Dodu.
The Tema District Council of Labour, TDCL, is calling on government to implement recommendations of the Interministerial Committee on the agreement between the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority and the Meridian Port Services. TDCL says the agreement, which allows MPS to undertake Tema Port expansion works, has a lot of flaws which cannot be overlooked. According to the TDCL, the previous government awarded the contract to the MPS without following through the laid-down procedures. The call follows what is said to be delays on the part of government to act on the report of the committee set up by the economic management team. There's more in this report.
The Interministerial Committee, headed by Deputy Transport Minister Daniel Titus Glover, was to review the 30-year concession agreement. This follows concerns raised by the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority, GPHA, over exclusivity given the Meridian Port Services, MPS, in the concession agreement. The agreement gives 90% of dues retention to MPS, while the GPHA has a 10% stake from 1 year to the 10th year. However, months after submitting its report, government is yet to act on the recommendations. Speaking to Joy Business, Chairman of the Tema District Council of Labour, Ebenezer Kojo Taylor, said the earlier government acts, the better.
The Ministerial Committee, headed by the Deputy Minister for Transport, they looked into the main concession agreement, then did a whole lot of recommendations. They submitted their report, but we don't know where the report is. So we are saying that if government is not going to bring MPS to order, to sit down with GPHA to review certain clauses of the concession agreement, then government can as well implement the Ministerial Committee report. We've heard from other circles that the recommendations in that agreement it's okay.
According to Ebenezer Kojo Taylor, this would eventually kick GPHA out of business and lead to job losses.
And if we don't take care, if it come on as it is, we are going to lose, our job will go to MPS, revenue will go, we will have idle machines, idle space, we will not even have money to develop the port for the port users to use. We will not have money to even repay loans that we've contracted over the years. I mean, eventually the staff will go home, a chunk of the staff will go home.
Expected to continue unabated until government gives a favorable response.
This is on Business Live. Now, whenever we talk of unemployment, it is about lack of jobs or lack of skills for the job market. Every now and then we hear figures from government on jobs created. So why is unemployment still an issue if these figures are anything to go by? In the following report, Charles Aite finds out if the trend of unemployment in the country is really an issue of no jobs or lack of employable skills.
Day in and day out, thousands of Ghanaians scramble for limited job vacancies. Unemployment rate in the country remains a troubling trend as figures keep soaring despite government interventions. Statistics from non-governmental organizations Star Ghana show that the national unemployment rate nearly tripled from 5.2% in 2013 to 14.1% in 2017. In the same year, the International Labour Organization ILO estimated that youth unemployment among 15 to 24-year-olds in Ghana was 4.9%. Despite these alarming figures, we keep hearing messages like this one.
Nation Builders Corps, 100,000 graduates have been hired. The freeze on public employment is over. We have hired about 350,000 people.
So where are the jobs? Professor Bob Watson is a labor economist and head of economics at the University of Ghana. He explained the difference between job creation and unemployment.
That every day, every year, every month, at every point in time, jobs are being created by government, by private sector, those in the formal or informal. The activity that we perform every day create one job or the other, but it doesn't necessarily translate into employment.
Emmanuel Senyet Asigre is CEO of the National Youth Authority.
Those in the informal sector are my heartbeat, because those are the ones who you visibly see what it is that they go through, the distress they find themselves in. And I'm referring to these are young folks who find themselves hawking on our streets.
I went to Newtown for a reality check. It's noon here and these young men are busily engaged in the game of drafts. I found out from one of them, Atta, whether or not he is employed.
I cannot wake up every morning, dress up and go to work to receive 400 or 500 cedis as salary. This is not enough.
Unlike Acha, who chooses to remain unemployed for reasons of a low salary, Francis, who works with a security firm, believes it takes proactivity to gain employment in Ghana.
Well, God knows when the jobs will come for you to go and do and get a better salary that you want. So even as now currently, graduates are doing security works just to get something, just to penetrate somewhere.
In the meantime, the National Youth Authority hopes to indulge 10,000 unemployed persons, especially in the informal sector, for a skills training program.
As we speak, we have targeted 10,000 people for this year, 10,000 young people for this year, and that's going to be across the country.
The dynamics to unemployment remains different when it comes to different sectors of the economy and different individuals alike. For draft masters that I'm engaging right now, they are saying that sometimes it has to do with the jobs. They'd have to shift jobs that are of low paying range. Others are also saying that others just don't venture into this whole field because of the dwindling natures and fortunes of vacancies across the country. Be it all as it may, the real issue on the ground is for government to create jobs and the private sector as well to create an enabling environment for those without jobs to have a well-meaning, full and paid job in that regard. I'm Charles Aite for Joy Business.
So very interesting perspectives on the issue of unemployment currently in the country. And on the back of this, we've been posing the question, do you really believe that the number of jobs created by government is real? And this is the outcome of the poll we posed this afternoon a few hours ago. And 26% says, yes, we believe in the number of jobs government claims to have created, while 74% says, no, they don't believe in the number of jobs government claims to have created. Government already is touting creating jobs of over 300,000 in the public sector alone. But this is exactly what the public is saying. You can still continue to throw in your vote because it is still opened for some time now. Let's continue. And Standard Chartered Bank has renewed its commitment to China's One Belt, One Road initiative. The initiative, which is an ambitious program by the Chinese government, seeks to connect Asia and Africa and Europe via land and maritime networks along 6 corridors. This aims at improving regional integration, increasing trade, and stimulating economic growth. Head of Global Banking of Standard Ghana, Jerry Ajima Boateng, spoke to Joy Business.
Relay is really we promoting the Belt and Road initiative. So we got our own staff, SCB staff, that are running 44 markets. And as you may be aware, the Belt and Road Relay demonstrates our strength across the market that the Belt and Road initiative cuts through. Standard Chartered is in 44 of the countries within the Belt and Road, and there are 65 countries within the Belt and Road. So we're covering about two-thirds of the whole initiative. And as a bank, we believe this really plays to our strength because none of our competitors are within this network that we do have our footprint in. So you find us in Asia, Middle East, and in Africa, and in Europe as well. And this is where really this initiative is really about. Just to keep it simple and short, it's really the Chinese government agenda of promoting trade and business across countries, and it's really about connectivity. So the Chinese government feels that the world got to be better connected, and they want to do that through building of roads, bridges, ports, and basically infrastructure. And as a bank, this is what we believe that plays to our strength, because one of our core mandates is to facilitate commerce and trade and prosperity. And we find ourselves in a unique position, as I said, that we are in 44 out of the 65, and none of our competitors have this footprint that we have within the Belt and Road.
Now, the head of local government services, Dr. Nana Atuata, says disciplinary action would be meted out to the public servants who act unprofessionally to adversely affect productivity of government business. According to him, this has become necessary due to the quest by government to move Ghana beyond aid. Dr. Nana Atuata disclosed this in an interview at a media launch of the Administrative Professionals Day, which has been earmarked for July this year by the Chartered Institute of Administrators and Management Consultants, Ghana.
Yes, within our code of conduct and code of ethics, we are to be professionals. I don't need to see legal backing before staff of the service get committed to professionalism. I don't need to. I've been talking about this ever since I joined this service. But if the staff are not professionals, how would you be able to deliver effective public service? So I don't need to seek any legal backing. Within our code of ethics, within our code of conduct, we are to be professionals. That's all.
But how critical is this to productivity? One would say when you're a professional, then at the end of the day, how would it affect productivity?
Very important. I'll give you just basics when it comes to professionalism. For instance, we are to go to office at 8 o'clock, close at 5. You get to office at 11, close at 3. Are you a professional? You're not. We are to remain in the offices, ensure that we attend to our clients when clients come to our offices. Client comes to you, you have earpieces left center, you are listening to music on your phone and other areas. You are WhatsApping, selfies center left and right. You are not a professional. We should be committed to the work that we're doing. We should be up and doing as far as our code of ethics, code of conduct are concerned. So professionalism is the key, and that is what CIMC is propagating.
will institute any disciplinary measures to such professions?
Definitely. When anything comes to my office, definitely I'll raise it before the council. And if you need to institute any sanction, the council will direct, and we'll do just that.
Now, what happened to be a visit to her hometown Ehi for a Gari festival triggered an idea for a start-up business. 6 months on, Sandra Amewua is running the Gari boutique, Gari the Creamy White. Now, granular flour, the creamy white granular flour made from cassava is packaged in different flavors, and so is the popular snack Gari soakings. Let's now have the full story unfold on Joy Business Van.
Gari in different flavors: coconut, ginger, potato, onion, and your Gari soakings nicely packaged. Welcome to the Gari Boutique, founded by Sandra Amewala. The insurance underwriter conceived the idea to start this business when she visited her hometown 6 months ago.
I come from Ehi in the Volta region. It's spelled E-H-I. So, yes, we celebrate the Gari festival, which we call Galiza. And I escorted my dad to the village last year in September for the festivities. Upon getting there, I interacted with a few of the folks there, and yeah, they were complaining that, okay, well, Gari has been something that they produce, but then they don't really have the market for it.
And he makes some of the best Gari in the country. The granular flour is made from cassava tubers, which are peeled, grated, left to ferment, and then fried in a dry pan. And Sandra, during her visit to her hometown, began to wonder how she could market the staple food, but she didn't have to think too hard.
I like to buy and sell, so it's been something I've been doing ever since I was in the university. I used to buy small wares and sell to my colleagues and all that, so it wasn't difficult to come up with something that involved buying and selling. But then the idea of now putting it into a more attractive package.
It would take 3 months for her to settle on the perfect packaging for her flagship Gari soakings: a plastic cup containing the granular flour, sugar and peanuts, nicely packaged, a sachet of milk and plastic spoon, all placed in a paper bag. For now, Sandra does her packaging from home, mostly on weekends when she's off her main job.
I realized that in the service industry where I work, it really counts, and to be able to reach a particular target or to be able to attract people of a particular group, especially the elite group and then the corporate group, you need to present yourself in a nice way. So yes, this is the regular Gari everybody eats, but then what would make somebody who is a CEO want to eat Gari soakings in his office, so that if any of his competitors or any of his mates or colleagues are to walk in, they do not feel embarrassed that, oh, my managing director is eating soakings. Well, this is soakings with a little class or with swag.
Eating Gari soakings with swag. Yes, it is true that this is a popular snack, but over time the perception has been that this is for the broke. That perception, Sandra wants to change. In November 2018, Sandra started distribution.
I gave it to 4 of my bosses at work. So I went to work and I had packaged it at home. Before leaving home, I had told my dad, okay, this is what I want to do. He said, who buy Gari soakings? And I said, oh, Daddy, but this is not just your regular Gari soakings just sitting there. This Gari soakings is... I said, okay, well, give it a try. So I took it to the office and then just put it on their table. So then they come in and they're like, wow, this is really impressive. Like, I mean, Gari soakings, well, I haven't eaten some since I was in high school.
Sandra will get more of such reactions.
It's been so long, it brings back memories here and there. So then, oh, you should do it. I got a lot of encouragement from them. And then I was like, okay, well, it's a place, a good start. I mean, not everybody would buy the idea, but then, well, getting support is very important when you're starting a new business. So that was the first day I really felt, okay, yes, I should do this. even though there are times I have felt like quitting, but I always look back to that first day and say that all these people believe in you. You can't let them down, and you have to make this work because it's not just about me. I'm creating employment for people who are producing the gari as well, people who roast the peanuts, those who make sugar and all that. And very soon, I'm hoping to expand and have more people on board.
Sandra is able to distribute about 50 packs every week. Her main mode of advertisement is social media. She tells me what the Gari boutique needs now to scale is more exposure. Meantime, she's satisfied her innovation is gradually catching on, and the prospects are bright.
Indeed, very impressive innovation, the Gari business. That'll be it for tonight's edition of Business Live. But for more news, you can log on to myjoyonline.com/business, where we have various items making headlines in the world of business tonight. That'll be it for me. Have a good evening. Thank you very much.